Have you ever noticed that the more money people tend to make, the more money they tend to spend? A nicer apartment, more expensive clothes, more subscriptions, a nicer and newer car, or a trailer, maybe some ATVs to go off-roading, maybe a boat to use twice a year at the river. More monthly payments, and somehow they still feel broke, regardless of what they make. Over 80,000, over 100,000, maybe a household where both people bring in 100,000. And sometimes you have people making $200,000 to $300,000 a year and they still feel broke. And I'm not even joking. A Goldman Sachs reports approximately 40% of Americans making $300,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. That is completely insane to me. 300K a year and you're still living paycheck to paycheck. I wonder why. It's because they have all these nice things that they are paying monthly for. There's no money left over at the end of each month because their month is more expensive than my month, than anyone else's month. And one of the biggest things that I learned in my wealth building journey, building a portfolio north of six figures, is that wealth isn't built on just what you buy, but it is also built on what you refuse to buy. It's built on what you don't buy. And today I want to share with you some of the things I refuse to buy, some of the things I refuse to spend money on, even though I could, and I could comfortably afford some of these things. Now, before we begin, this isn't financial advice, and I am not saying that these things are bad. If you genuinely enjoy these things and you can comfortably afford them, then that is your choice. I am simply sharing the choices that I have made and what has helped me build wealth while avoiding lifestyle inflation. Number one, nice cars or luxury cars. This one is probably not a surprise. Maybe I should have saved it to the end. Maybe you guys could have guessed it. This channel is called the Carless Millionaire for a reason. I'm not going to get a car until I'm a millionaire. And the problem isn't the car. The problem is what the payment prevents you from doing. I've seen so many people lock themselves into large monthly payments just to drive something bigger, newer, and more impressive. You don't need to get a nice luxury car. You just need to get one that gets you from A to B. And every dollar that goes towards a depreciating asset cannot be invested for the future. Fun fact, I don't call it depreciating asset. I call it depreciating liability. And for me, I simply would rather own assets first and toys second. Speaking of second, the second thing on my list is luxury watches. Personally, I do like luxury watches. I think they look great. I just simply can't justify myself spending thousands and thousands of dollars on something that tells the time. My phone does that. Plus, I have an Apple Watch. Apple Watch tells the time and also tells me how many steps I take. And since I don't have a car, I tend to take a lot more steps than the average human being. It also detects how long my bike rides are, which is pretty cool. I use that function every single day. But I do like watches. They do look nice. Will I ever get one day? Will I ever buy a Rolex? Probably not, but maybe after I'm a millionaire already. But remember, I'm going to prioritize assets first. And that money can be invested today that will generate income for years. Number three, expensive apartments. Housing is usually the largest monthly expense people have, and I've seen people stretch their budget just to live in the newest building. Again, there's nothing wrong with having a nice place, but everything comes with a cost. And the higher your fixed expenses become, the harder it is for you to become financially independent. Plus, there's no nice apartment that's a walking distance from my job, so yeah. Number four, constant food delivery. Food delivery is convenient, and that is why it's dangerous. A $20 meal now becomes a $25 to $30 meal after delivery fees, tips, and tax. That is a 50% increase. Convenience is not free. Do that several times a week, every week, and the numbers become shocking. Most people never take time to calculate this. Number five, consistent phone upgrades. Every year, a new phone comes out, and every year, we are told that we need it. Better camera, faster processor, new features. Meanwhile, the phone in your pocket, or the phone watching this YouTube video right now, works perfectly fine. I have personally never seen someone's net worth grow because they upgraded their phone. Number six, designer clothing. Most people aren't paying attention to the logo on your shirt. They're too busy being worried about themselves. I don't need expensive brands to feel successful. I'd rather have my investments do all the heavy lifting. Clothes have one primary function. They stop you from being naked. That is it. And if it's hot, they keep you cool. And if it's cold, they keep you warm. And then there's swimming trunks if you want to swim. That's all clothes is used for. Number seven, buying things to impress other people. This might be the biggest one on the list. At some point, I realized something important. Most people aren't thinking about you, not even remotely close to as much as you think. Everyone is the main character in their story. Everyone is the main character in their world because they're with themselves all the damn time. Everyone else is just an NPC in everyone else's world. That expensive purchase you made to impress people, that Gucci bag, those Gucci shoes, that Louis Vuitton belt, Versace, Versace, Versace.
What you think of this chain though? You like it? Versace, 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 Versace. It's a Versace chain, y'all. I know y'all see it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am wearing a Versace chain in case y'all haven't noticed. I know you see me.
Yeah, they're going to forget about it. And most of them will forget by tomorrow, unless you do a big old speech and announcement like that guy did, then they'll probably remember for 2 more weeks. But you know who's not going to forget? You're not going to forget. You're not going to forget how much you paid for it, or maybe you will, because you paid for it on a credit card. And one thing you will remember is that credit card payment and that credit card bill, or at least I hope you do, because if you don't, then you're going to pay interest on that, and you're going to remember that. And you'll remember that financial stress, because trying to impress people is one of the most expensive hobbies in the world. Number 8, excessive subscriptions. This one doesn't hurt right away, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. $10 here, $15 here. How about $20 over there? Individually, they don't seem like much, but collectively, when you combine them all, that is a huge monthly expense. People underestimate how much they spend on subscriptions every month. The average American spends about $220 a month on subscriptions alone, totaling to $2,600 per year. And on the lower end, you're looking about $90 a month, just under $1,100 a year on subscriptions alone. Number 9, buy now, pay later purchases. This one has become incredibly popular. The problem with this one is that it makes expensive purchases feel inexpensive. It makes expensive purchases feel cheap. Instead of asking, can I afford this? People now ask, can I afford the payment? Can I make this payment? Am I okay with making this? I want you to know that every time you do a buy now, pay later purchase, what you're essentially doing is you're borrowing money from your future self. A payment mindset often leads people to making purchases on things they normally would not buy if they have to pay it in full upfront during the time of purchase. A good rule of thumb to use when buying liabilities and doing random purchases is if you cannot afford to pay for it 3 times over, you can't buy one of it. Now, be mindful, this rule is only great for liabilities, okay? Do not wait until you can buy a house 3 times over to buy one, because then you're going to be waiting a long time. So yeah, only use the 3-to-1 rule when buying liabilities. Do not use that rule when buying a house. Number 10, timeshares. This one has never made sense to me. You pay large amounts of money up front. You pay ongoing fees, you have limited flexibility, and most people have a hard time getting rid of them later. I actually knew someone who used to work in selling timeshares, and I asked them about it. How do you like that job, or why did you leave it? And they honestly replied, you can make a lot of money selling timeshares, but you gotta throw your dignity out the window. And that told me all I needed to know. That painted a pretty good picture of timeshares and the value that they have or the value that they don't have. So, what do I spend my money on? Investments, experiences with people I care about, learning new skills, and things that genuinely improve my quality of life. Because ultimately, I'm trying to buy freedom. The goal isn't to look rich. Financial independence is the goal. And every single purchase that I make is going to do one of 2 things. It's either going to push me towards my goal of financial independence, or it's going to pull me away. There's no in between. My name is Mario, and I'm the Carless Millionaire. And if you enjoyed that video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Carless Millionaire YouTube account and join me on the journey to financial independence. And lastly, feel free to check out my previous video where I talk about what I would do if I had to start all over again with absolutely nothing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with a brand new video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Carless YouTube. The Carless YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Oh man, I gotta go to sleep.